Welcome back, it's me Lou, and I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today I am bringing you this. Marvel Avengers, Iron Man and Marvel's Rescue. Alright, so this was produced by Hasbro a few years back. It was produced in conjunction with the Avengers Endgame movie. So this was Hasbro's budget line of Avengers action figures. Around the time of the movie, you had two choices. You could either buy the more premium, more expensive Marvel Legends figure, or if you were a parent who wanted to buy something for your child to play with, this was the more affordable option. This was a 2-pack, and I believe that the 2-packs might have retailed for $20 or less back in the day when this came out. And versus where a Marvel Legends figure by himself, you're paying $20 for one figure. But those Marvel Legends figures, they're more premium, they're larger, they're 6-inch figures, whereas these are about 5.5 inches tall. Marvel Legends, they have more accessories, better paint applications, and more articulation. And these are kind of like the bare minimum of what you're getting. But, you know, a lot of collectors kind of sleep on these. But I like this line. I like the budget stuff. I think it's fun. And this is a 2-pack that I passed on. I had all intent of buying it when it was initially in the store. Every time after work, or even before work, I'd make a run to Target because Target was on my commute, and I saw this in the stores, and every time I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna buy that, and then I just kept on putting it off, and I kept on putting it off, and then one day it just wasn't there anymore, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's, you know, my fault. I should have bought it when I had the chance. So I bought this recently. I ordered online through Amazon through a third-party seller. If you've been watching my videos, I've been assembling a team of budget Avengers. I bought the Avengers Mech Strike Captain America a few weeks back, and that's a sub $10 figure. I reviewed it, fell in love with it, and it reminded me why I enjoy the budget figures so much. Because for me, they feel more like toys and playthings. I mean, they feel more like toys and playthings than a collectible. You know, when I hold a budget figure in my hand, it feels like a toy. It doesn't feel like a premium collectible. I love being able to take the bubbles off the cards. It's like nostalgic. It's a very tactile thing for me. It reminds me when I was a kid and I'd buy G.I. Joe figures or Star Wars figures and I'd rip the bubble off their cards. Because with Marvel Legends, you get them in those boxes. And, you know, I just wanted a team of budget Avengers. I had a Cap, I had a Hulk, I had a Black Panther at the budget scale, and I'm like, you know what? I just need a couple more characters, and I could assemble a crew of 5.5-inch Avenger figures. And it kind of became a challenge. And the nice thing is, a lot of these figures, if you look around, you can kind of find them for like a little bit above or below retail. And in this case, I think I bought this maybe $1 less than retail when I found it on Amazon. So I was very fortunate in that regard. And it kind of times out too because I think it was just like last week Hasbro unveiled that they're releasing a Marvel Legends 2-pack. I think it's an Amazon exclusive. It includes Rescue and Captain Marvel, but they're new figures. I think the Rescue, I think it's using the same mold, but they're giving her, I think, new accessories, including a unmasked Gwyneth Paltrow head, I think. And the Captain Marvel, she's wearing her Avengers Endgame costume that she wears at the end of the movie, because they haven't made a figure of that yet. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just get this in the meantime. It'll give me, you know, an Iron Man rescue figure, and that's cool. So let's look at the packaging. So as I stated earlier, this is a double pack. The double packs are neat. They frame both of the characters really well in the product window. On the upper left, you have some character artwork. It's kind of weird because if you look at Iron Man, the image up here, he looks all serious. He has his repulsor aimed at you, and some great artwork. But then you look at Rescue, and she almost looks like she's flirting with you. She kind of has those bedroom eyes. And then he has that serious mouth, but for some reason the artist almost kind of like left the impression that there's lips here, just so that you know it's a female character. It's weird. And on the back, same character artwork, and it says here, Tony Stark suits up in an advanced Iron Man armor to face down his enemies. Pepper Potts gears up to join the fight as the hero Rescue. So this figure this figure set's old. It came out I think 2018. It's seen better days. I bought this from a third-party seller, and already I mean, for one thing, you buy from a third-party seller on Amazon, or you never know what you're getting. Sometimes the package can be really beat up, and that's kind of the case here. On the upper right, above the Avengers logo, there's some sticker residue. That's where the price tag was. And they're robbing me of my experience of ripping the bubble off the card, because over time the glue kind of wore out, and I received the package like this. So if you look, the card's almost perfectly preserved. All the glue just kind of wore away and lost its adhesion. So I just have, I don't know. It saves me the trouble of ripping the bubble off the card, but I love that. But I don't get to do that anymore. So first impressions of the figures in their plastic tray. They're a cute couple. I think if you're getting married anytime soon, and you need cake toppers for your wedding cake, and you're both Marvel fans, this is the way to go. You know, it's like Mr. and Mrs. Iron Man. So if you're getting married and you want something to decorate your wedding cake with, find this 2-pack and put these as the cake toppers. They're cool. I think one of my first impressions was I was looking at Iron Man's arms, and they almost look like bootleg, just because it's that weird gold paint that it's not necessarily a smooth finish. It's a little speckly, and then you can kind of see the mold lines of the plastic. But it's a great figure still. You know, I don't want to dissuade you. It's awesome. The details look nice. The sculpts look clean. These look like budget figures. You know, I'm not going to trick myself and think, hey, you know, these are just as good Marvel Legends. They're not. And, you know, for one, the paint application isn't as great. They're shorter figures. Their articulation's limited, but for what I'm paying for them, you get more bang for your buck. I think these are a great value. So Iron Man comes with this laser cannon deal. So it looks like this. I don't remember Iron Man having a gun. I think this is more so supposed to emulate whenever he like reshapes his arm and then it becomes like a cannon. And there's a blast effect. I'm not sure. Does this come out? I don't know if this blast effect comes out. It looks like it might, but I don't want to force it. Or it might be all one piece, I think. And it, I don't know. I'm just going to leave it alone for now. I don't want to try to risk pulling it out. But it's a cool effect. If you're a kid and you want him to look like he's like, you know, vaporizing like the bad guys, there you go. And the reason why there is these additional pegs on here is because this was a figure I believe they released a year prior with the Avengers Infinity War line of budget figures, and with those figures you got like an infinity gem, and you got to plug it into here and you can pretend it powered up the character. Rescue comes with a blast effect also. This one looks new. I don't remember receiving these with any of my other Marvel figures or even my Marvel Legends figures. I might be mistaken on that, but she has a plug in her hand. You can take this and you could say that here she is using her repulsor blast or her lasers and going to town. And it's unfortunate that Iron Man, even though his hand splayed out for his repulsor blast, they failed to like give you a socket for that. So it'd been nice if they drilled out a hole and you could like put this accessory in there also. But as a reminder, these are budget figures. You know, you can get the very bare minimum. And speaking of bare minimum, as you look at them, not a whole lot going on in terms of the paint. They paint the gold where it needs to be done, you know, on his faceplate, on his upper arms, and on his thighs. Everything here works. The details are nice and crisp. This is kind of a shame that, you know, even though this is a budget figure, that if this was molded from the correct shade of plastic, it'd look a little bit more premium. You know, if they applied a wash to it, all the ink would seep into the details and really bring them out. But for $9 or $20 for the two of these, it's a great bargain. This isn't one of my favorite Iron Man costumes. I think it's kind of generic looking. It doesn't have as much character to it as some of the other ones. But I don't mind. It's a budget figure. His head rotates, ball joint, arms rotate up and down. They can move out. He has elbow bend and swivel. The knees could kick out or kick up. No knee articulation, no ankle articulation. And it brings us to Rescue. Same deal. Minimal paint application. Face plate is painted. Her arc reactor is painted. There's some silver on her chest and lower abdomen. Some silver on her legs. The sculpt's nice. The plastic, the shade of plastic looks, I don't know, there's something about it. Almost looks a little bit, it looks nicer on camera than in person. On the camera, it looks nice and vibrant. In person, it looks, not that it's dull, but the quality of the plastic just looks a little bit subpar. But it's a great figure. I like her costume a lot. I think it's awesome. Articulation's the same. Head spins, arms, knees. It kicks up. Okay. So since we're on the subject of Iron Man, let's bring out some couple of Iron Man figures. Okay. So here are two Iron Man figures. We have another budget figure. This is from the more recent Hasbro Marvel Avengers line of action figures, and this is Iron Man from the Gamerverse line. You still might be able to find this figure on the shelves. I believe it came out 9 or 10 months ago when the Square Enix video game came out. And that's what this armor depicts. This is a budget figure. This falls under $10 also, but they've been making improvements in their budget line, and besides, they offer the same articulation as this guy. The head moves on a ball joint, arms rotate, they go out, the elbow and the swivel. But the cool thing is, Hasbro's been putting a little bit more engineering into the budget figures, and they're allowing you not only to kick up, but you can super kick out, and the knees bend and they swivel. So if you think about it, they're getting pretty close to being as articulated as the Marvel Legends. You're just missing the waist swivel, the biceps, and then the thigh cut and the ankles. I mean, that's still a lot, but you get the point. They're making some strides in the basic assortment of figures, and I welcome that. It's awesome. I feel like I'm getting a lot more value out of my action figures, especially when I'm only paying $10 for them. And up next we have a Marvel Legends Iron Man. This is the Tony Stark. I think this came with the Civil War 3-pack that came with the Tom Holland Spider-Man and the Chris Evans Captain America, I think. Because I remember this being battle damaged, the Cap's battle damaged. And this is a premium figure. It's like I said before. These figures, they're not meant to replace these. They're just a more affordable option for parents to buy these for their younger children. This is a premium. Not only is this a premium toy, it's more of a premium collectible. These are aimed at older collectors, and it definitely shows. There's more articulation, a lot more care goes into the paint, and it just feels better overall. It's like I said in other videos. It's not that I don't like these anymore. I love them. It's just I'm just burned out on them. Marvel Legends, it's like the line that never wants to die or even take a break. They just keep on coming, and they keep on coming, and not that they're like putting a gun down my throat telling me I need to buy everything, but I think part of the fun of the hobby is this, you buy sometimes what you like, and it's sometimes nice when you can complete the sets and the collections, but when there's just like a downpour of figures and it never stops, it almost seems like a turnoff, because at a certain point it feels like they're just trying to like milk me for all I'm worth, which they probably are. But at the same time, the product they're giving me in hand is well worth the money. I think for me, it's just kind of like I just need a break from it. And that's why I've kind of gravitated to the cheaper figures. Not necessarily because they're affordable, but I don't know, they take me a little bit back more to my childhood, because they feel more like toys and they look more like toys. Whereas I never had a toy like this as a child. This is something that was introduced to me as an adult. So I don't have the feels for this guy like I do for stuff like this. Like, this feels like something I might have had as a kid. This feels like something I had more so as an adult who's like bringing in an income, and there's toy companies out to get my money. So if I had to rate these figures numerically, Rescue and Iron Man, I don't know, about a 7. The only thing that holds them back from rating higher is the fact that, I mean, when I hold this guy, this is a budget figure. Granted, this guy came out 2 or 3 years later, and it does a lot more. But seeing where they took budget toy engineering to it just wows me. I'm like, wow, they're letting us do this now with the budget figures. Whereas this guy was kind of like, as much as I love the detail and care that went into him, there's part of me that always kind of feels like, this is just an easy buck for the company, just to like get parents to buy these toys for their kids. And that's what they're for. They're budget toys, Parents aren't always going to go grocery shopping with their child at Target or Walmart and spend a hard-earned $20 on this one toy, when they could spend like half of that on an action figure. So, yeah, these are about a 7.5 if I'm being generous. I like it because I get to finally have a Pepper Potts rescue figure for now. I do plan on getting the Amazon exclusive Marvel Avengers one that comes with Captain Marvel. I'm not a big fan of this version of Iron Man, this armor. I don't know, it looks too smooth and too organic for me. I like my Iron Man to actually look like more robot-y, like this one. So let's wrap this video up. So, thank you again for stopping by and checking out my video. It means a lot to me that you're investing a small part of your day to hear what I have to say about toys, because in all honesty, toys are kind of trivial. It's not like we necessarily need them. But if you're like me, they bring a small bit of happiness into my life, especially now. 2020 has been kind of difficult. 2021, it was a little bit more of the same, but at this point, things seem like they're getting better. And I'm seeing videos of people, being out and about toy hunting again in confidence. And I think that's a good thing. So once again, take care. Feel free to drop by anytime. And I'll talk to you soon. Later.